Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Dragon's Roar Journey to the Edge of Sight. And let's get our cast over on here. Guys, what's up?
We're
Yeah,
laughing
we're
about-
playing D&D.
Oh, cool. Who are we playing with?
Yeah, I don't know. There's this like really weird guy from Romania. I don't really like him, but it's like I feel too awkward to actually talk about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I've started to warm up, and now I'm gonna be silly because I've been drinking a lot of that go-go juice. Don't worry, it wasn't full. It wasn't full before this.
Yeah, I was kind of scared for a second.
I don't believe you.
It's also like what 7 a.m. for you, 8 a.m. for you, Eyecye?
Yeah, it's 8 a.m. now.
Yeah.
Well, I just had donuts, so I'm happy.
I got
I have cake.
4 hours of sleep.
Thoughts are good. Okay, so you guys have entered.
Like you're like your Warforged, right? You have 4 hours of just immobility.
So you guys
Explain the low
are
intelligence into.
in the defense fort and the Shadow Veil. What do you want to do?
Oh, we are at the fort already?
Yeah, you are at the fort.
I think you said so, yeah?
I mean, I want to go talk to that ranger.
You're not exactly sure how many. Like, you know, you spend about 3 or 4 hours to get from your castle. Like, since you woke up to get to the forest. But because the Shadow Veil's blackwood is very tall, and there's not at all much light in, you're not exactly sure what time of the day it is. So you don't know how much time has passed you going through the forest.
So it kind of like distorts a bit.
It
Something.
distorts it completely. Like you can know when it's dusk, when it's dawn, and when it's like night, but you can't really tell during the day what time it is and how much time
Would it
passes
be?
in the Shadow Veil.
Would it be wisdom or intelligence to know how much time has passed?
I would say wisdom.
I'd
Like-
say that too. I'd say it's similar to a survival check, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I based it off. Okay, so Princess Tiger really wants to go to talk to Nidrum the Ranger, Saskia, Pharaoh, Asbjorn. What do you guys?
Yeah, I
wanna
would.
Yeah,
I would
think we all-
accompany her. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked to Ranger.
do? Okay, so you guys all start to find Ranger how?
We ask around if anyone's seen him lately. Right?
Okay, you start asking around, and somebody eventually points you out towards a tent somewhere to the eastern side of the compound. It's not that good looking of a tent. It was white once upon a time. Now it's more brown than white, and it will barely like hold all of you inside. Like, it will be cramped inside if all of you walk in.
Oh, this will
I
not
walk
do.
into the tent.
I walk up to it and I start casting prestidigitation to clean the tent.
So
I just kind of duck in and I walk into the tent.
this takes several minutes. Like,
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you see her casting this, and like parts of the linen just going white again. It's like having a rubber that you've had like for a racing rubber that you've had for a very long time, and it's like very much gray, and then you start rubbing it until it becomes white. That's exactly how this looks like.
When I see that that Pharaoh
good.
is.
It's going to
But-
take 6 seconds per cubic foot of the tent.
Yeah, so when I see that Pharaoh ducks to go in, I just go whoa 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 whoa, and I just immediately follow after, like directly next to him.
I'm just like standing in the door. Can I stand up in here?
You can stand inside of the tent. It's pretty high up, but it's enough to keep you up. You wouldn't say that there's about 1 foot above your head, like free air, but it's enough.
I mean, is it a living tent? Like, how big is the tent from the outside? Like,
It's about 10 by 8 feet. As I said, it's a bit cramped to hold all of you in. But you walk inside, Saskia and Feral, you can walk inside, two of you, and it's not that cramped. You see at the edge of the tent, inside of a sleeping bag as old as the tent looks, with a bottle of spirits to his side, a old bow just hung on a little latch, and this guy's just snoring loudly. The smell of booze just hits you in the face. Only you,
I do not
Saskia.
breathe in.
Yeah, only Saskia.
Can I like pick up the bottle and can I like examine it?
You pick up the bottle, it's like there's only maybe a quarter left inside, and
Does it have like a label or anything printed on it?
no, it does not have
Like
label.
ribbon?
It's like a wooden flask.
Oh, okay.
Horse piss.
So I go to the sleeping man, and I kneel down next to him, and I just, touch his shoulder, and I just try to shake him a little.
I say knock on wood as she does this.
So you go down and you go close towards him. As soon as your hand is going towards him, you give me a perception check. Actually,
You notice that he's pissed himself.
Oh my god. 21.
21. So you see this as it happens. It's at incredible speed, so you can roll initiative against it if you don't want it to happen. Like if you want to do something. His arm.
Like I don't even. Yeah, you tell me what, and then I'll decide.
Okay, so you see his arm just flaying out from beneath the cover, and in maybe a quarter of a second, it's at your neck with a blade.
Okay, can I try
Okay.
to like grab his
When I-
arm?
When I see him do this, can I activate my rage?
No.
No, oh my
no,
God.
no, because this is you are above. You're shaking this. Like she's easily going above. You can't even much see this.
I can, if I activate my rage, don't I get the ability to counter surprise?
No, I don't believe range is something that counters surprise.
Yeah, it does.
It does. Well,
It's
I just
called
don't know
danger
how
sense.
You can decide
No, not danger
not
sense.
to be surprised, and instead, if you rage as your very first thing.
I'm gonna
But this
say-
isn't. But he doesn't see. I mean, this is only her perception check,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This is only her perception, and secondly, she's above him. Like she's above him, and you can only see like movement, maybe, but that's about it. You can see about a bit of movement, but from your perspective, just standing above and shaking that thing, you can't see like the blade. Okay, so
Oh, I actually don't have that ability yet.
so Saskia, you try and grab his arm. Give me an opposed dexterity check.
It's not a saving throw, it's just a check, right?
Yeah, just a check.
21.
You catch his arm.
Nice!
He smiles at you and says, "What do you want? We're here."
Can I
I
walk
just-
over and try and take the blade out of his hand?
He just, unless Saskia keeps the hand there, he takes it back and starts rising.
No, I would just, I'll just let go as soon as she starts talking to me.
Okay, you let go. He starts raising himself up from the sleeping bag.
And outside, here, her arm. Like the invaded dwarf, just outside the tent, hearing all this,
So I guess I would identify that guy as Nidrum, right? Or Nidrum? Yeah.
Nidrum.
Nidrum? Yeah.
Oh, I know
Nidrum.
you from somewhere. You seem
I like-
familiar.
I just say, well, Nidrum, I guess you used to have quicker days than this day, right? Not
I
your
used to.
best.
I'm not a
option.
ranger anymore. I don't need to be quick.
What do you mean you're not a ranger anymore? It's not like a profession you just give up.
Yes, it is. I'm just drinking now.
So you're a professional drinker? Is that a thing?
Don't know if it is or not, but I am one.
Well, how would this professional drinker would like to meet a proper princess? Would you be up for that? Because we have some questions for you.
And you're clean, 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 clean. He has his character clean, clean,
He
clean.
doesn't seem so interested. He's "Meh." And I'll answer your questions. Just let me get some shit on, and if Do you have any water? I have a horrible headache.
He rises up and roll to see if you can see his blue underwear.
So I just give him my water skin, and that in his hand I put I take some out of my pocket, and I just give him some of that of the green herbs that I chewed when I was so hungover, and I tell him to chew that and to meet me outside.
Okay. So he drinks and chews that on, and he seems quite pleased. He nods at you. Thanks. It takes a couple of minutes, and this time Princess Tiguri just cleans the whole tent. Like it's spotless. And when he comes out, just looks at all of you, and then looks back at the tent. Like, pretty.
I'm still in there. And when he goes to go out, I point at the bow and I say, "Can I have that?"
No, it's my bow. Go buy your own.
But you don't need it anymore.
Does not make it not mine.
Okay.
As I say, he walks outside. He sees the tent. His eyes go a bit wide. It wasn't even this queen when I bought it.
You're muted, Justin.
Justin, you made it.
Again.
I will figure out why this happens. Isn't it wonderful? It's all bright and shiny and new.
I acted better when it was dirty.
No.
Bold.
Oh, I know, it's because it doesn't match, right? Because your clothes are dirty too. I'll clean those right away. And I start casting on him, cleaning his clothes.
Like, he knows who you are. That's the only reason he doesn't say anything. He's just like.
And I cast mending. I like mend all the holes in his clothes.
So basically, how he looks like in the end, like he's actually like in good shape, like ranger gear, but he's like dirty. Like his hands are dirty.
Not anymore. He's not.
No, okay.
You're still taking the face.
He's about.
Should we mage hand like put out like a mage hand sister like a cut his beard too? Should we just do that? Like just do.
Are we doing the Cinderella thing with him?
Give me a few more levels and I'll have mage hand. It's the next cantrip I'm getting.
A 35-year-old ranger, unshaven beard and very long unkept hair, just tied in a ponytail on his back. Dressed pretty nicely, I guess, now that you mended all his clothes. He looks at all of you. One of his eyes seems to be a bit slow. And he says, "So what? What do you want? You're not here to clean my shit. I didn't ask you to clean my shit."
I know. I was just being nice.
Again, what are you doing here? And why's the fucking princess with you? Like he looks at you, Saskia.
No. Oh God, did you really think I was the princess? I extend a hand. I spit into my hand,
He doesn't think you're the princess. Like he sees the princess and then asks you what the fuck you are doing here and why is the princess like princess.
I just spit into my hand. I extend my hand to him and I say, "I don't think I introduced myself. My name is Saskia Longstrider, and we are here to take on the challenge. How do we call that challenge?
The blood.
No,
The Green Emperor kind of,
Yeah,
to become the Green Emperor.
Journey to the edge of sight. That's the name.
And we are taking on the journey to the end of sight. And this is why we need your information because
we're having an adventure. It's wonderful.
He just.
I just like. I look at the spit in her hand, and I look to Tiger Lil and like, "Are you gonna clean that too?"
He just roars in laughter and says, "Well, you look good enough, and I've heard some stories about you. This guy over on here, like, pats on Pharaoh, like, sturdy, and, well, I've never seen a dwarf that's not good with a weapon yet. But her? What's she doing here?" Like, I points at Princess Tiguri. "She's gonna get eaten up by the Goblin King's men in a minute."
No. I shake my head.
I'm not sure if Princess Tigerlily has ever been insulted before.
Well, This is the thing that happens with a blood oath, because you're now not necessarily royalty anymore. You need to prove yourself before you're treated with respect, kinda. I don't know if this guy would treat you with respect even if you prove yourself.
Do we all get insulted by this?
He needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
I got it. I got it.
He rolls a 17 natural.
God damn it, that's a.
I put my hand on his his shoulder, and I say, no.
Why is it? Why do?
Anyway, why are you he and what do you want to
He had such a small chance of passing. It's not fair.
He's a ranger. He probably has high wisdom.
Yeah. She doesn't know things like that.
Okay, so
I thought about it, but then I decided she would.
I just say we are very interested in that story of yours about the Goblin King and a certain arena, and what else information you could give us about that.
his face darkens and his eyes narrow. And everybody fucking knows the story. Why are you asking me? You can go into nearest tavern and find it.
I don't know the story.
Saskia, I want you to give me a charisma check.
Oh no.
You
Can I do it?
Okay.
You can use your persuasion if you want to.
Can I help?
Yeah, that's
with
the
this?
same. Oh my god. I suddenly.
Unless you actively help, no.
Can I actively help?
How do you
I
actively
want to
help?
help. I called it first.
I'm gonna say, but there's things that always get left out of the stories. But when you have someone who's actually there, they can fill you in all the little details. And if we're gonna take down the Goblin King, we're gonna need to know as much about him as possible. And you probably met him, right?
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good enough. So you
No
Saskia,
die enemy.
You can roll with
Right.
advantage.
Yeah. What? Do I roll with advantage or how does it work now?
Yeah.
You roll with advantage.
Another one.
11.
11, okay, it's an opposed one, so it's yeah. This guy
I think
rolls
you
a
need
2.
the persuasion.
He rolls a 2, and so even the 5 makes it.
Check.
So he looks at you and just sighs. Okay, but first, tavern. I cannot tell this story while I'm still sober.
I
This is
spotted
when he's
this.
sober. God
Yeah,
damn.
this is how he looks when he's sober.
Well, now he looks really nice.
Yeah, like you guys start walking through the camp towards the tavern, and you see like a lot of people just like giving him the eye, like what the fuck? It's like, you know, your people that you know just look at you weirdly when you have a new haircut. It's like, wow, a new haircut, you look weird. It's big new him, like overall everything is new. It's like seeing the hobo in your town.
Wow, they really have nothing else going for them right this moment. Apparently, their lives are like not really existent. If that's what they really.
They are,
like
no, it's
right
just
now.
it's just that they enjoy playing the hobo or hipster game, and now they are not sure anymore. If he's hobo or hipster.
Okay, sorry. Need to give my brother a mouse. Okay, so
You know what I mean?
you guys walk inside of the tavern. He just ordered drinks for everybody, like ales, just normal ales for everybody. And when the waitress comes and brings the ales and just extends her hand for the pay, he just looks at you, Saskia.
How much money do we actually have on us?
Oh, yeah, that was one thing I didn't ask. How much money am I allowed to take with me?
Your background, like, whatever your background gives you,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
that's the amount of money you have on your person.
Okay, when the waitress puts
Including
her
the
hand up
princess?
to pay.
Sorry, what?
Oh,
Including the princess? That's how much money I have?
Yep. So noble, I guess. When she puts her hand out to like collect the money, I try and go for the shake, and I try and like shake her hand.
She looks at you, a bit weirded out, and just shakes her head. No, sweetie. Money. Coins.
I take out the money out of my purse and just give it to her, however much that would be.
It's about 1 silver toler for the whole 5 pints.
Yeah, I do that.
Okay.
Sounds reasonable.
2 copper each. She takes the silver coin and goes back behind the bar, and he starts drinking. He chugs half of it in a go, and he looks at you. Okay, so what exactly do you want to know?
Tell us about the Goblin King and his lair, or his whereabouts.
Well, after I was captured, my whole crew, almost my whole crew was captured, taken prisoners, so many abominations that we couldn't even fight them. Captain and his right hand died, the rest of us prisoners. We were thrown into fighting pits. This Goblin King, don't know how he's doing it, but he's creating creatures, just horrible creatures, chimeras of flesh and heads and tails and
What's a chimera?
he just explains like a chimera is like a combination of like animals or people or monsters or like combinations, like genetical combinations, like mashed together.
He's just pissed off because he lost his wife, and he's making his little girl become like this, and mixing with their dogs. I don't know.
I defeated the creatures that were sent before us, but in the end they wanted to see a fight between us. We didn't want to participate at first, so they just took a couple of my friends in and strung them up like pigs naked and cut their necks. They bled like hogs in front of us. They said that would happen to each of us if we didn't fight. So in the end, we ended up fighting. I was the only one who made it out. The orcs lead most of the dungeons, earned the respect after that fight, took advantage of it. One night, got them drunk, and I managed to escape. Ran with a loaf of bread and a water skin, just ran as fast as I can. I don't know how I made it out. A patrol out of a couple of miles in here found me half starving. That's the story.
I can tell you how you made it out. You used to be an excellent ranger. That's what saved your life.
She said, well, those days are fucking past. Like, he just shakes his head and downs the rest of the ale. Okay. Any of you have any reaction? Like, he's ordering another drink. I know if any of you say anything.
I cast Minor Illusion, and I make him think he's looking at a mirror directly in front of his face. So now he's looking like right at a reflection of how he currently looks.
Okay.
And I say,
I try to turn around the mirror to face me.
Your hands pass through it. I say, they don't have to be in your past.
Okay, that's a pretty good thing you're doing right now. So Tiger, give me a persuasion check with an advantage. Oh shit.
Get 26.
He just rolled a 1.
He's like, oh.
He starts looking into the mirror. He like touches his face and like ruffles his hand through the beard. It looks like the gear, and he sees like he takes out a medallion. And Saskia, like, you have this medallion as well. It's a small iron medallion with an arrow on it, like the Ranger's medallion. This is only given like to veterans in battle, and there's actually not that many out there who have it. So,
and a lonely tear just drops from his face.
like, yeah, like you do actually see him, like one tear just goes down, and he says, "So what are you asking me all of this about?" He just does this to the illusion. "What do you want with the Goblin King?"
We want to end his reign of terror. We want to end his evil in this world.
He raises his eyebrows. You do realize your father has been trying to do that for centuries. What makes you think you're fit enough to take down a king?
I'm not my father.
I like you more and more.
I kind of start seeing. I see this. I mean, I just like saying it. I kind of see like I'm a bit impressed by this because like here's the little girl like asking me for stories, like kind of nodding like a bit approvingly at what she's saying.
There is one way. During my fights, that's the closest I got. There's no way we can do this in a frontal approach. There's so many abominations and patrols, you'd get caught 15 times over. Even if you defeat all of those, he has guards on him. Creatures, huge giants, misshapen. I don't think you'll be able to kill him after so many fights beforehand, but there is a way to get inside of his bastion. You're all gonna like it.
What is it?
Get captured.
I don't like it.
That sounds like a terrible idea. I say out loud.
They never kill prisoners. And you guys seem like a pretty interesting bunch.
But they will certainly. I mean, they will take our weapons. We cannot. Can they defend ourselves?
They actually don't take your weapons away.
They just let us keep them, even.
John, he is cocky. Just let me put it like that.
Arrogant bastard. I see.
He likes to entertain his people. That's why he throws everybody in the pit. The orcs lead the pit. If you manage to survive the first night of running there, it's gonna be harsh, believe me. But after that, if you can get out stealthily, you'll be able to move through the whole bastion without needing to kill so many abominations beforehand. Now don't get me wrong, there's gonna be a shit ton of things to fight in there even when you win. But that's the best chance as I see it. Unless you have an army on your back.
I look at each of my companions. Very well. This is the task we have appointed ourselves, and this is the best way to succeed, and that is what we shall do.
He looks at Tiger Lily and Saskia and says, "You should take care though. If you don't escape the first night, well, the orcs don't have a reputation to be kind to women."
I just laugh wholeheartedly, and I just say, "Ha! Let them try."
I felt like that's my best suggestion, but you can do whatever you want.
Idea.
Can you tell us anything about? I basically ask him if he has like a crude plan or like a map in his head what that looks out. Yeah.
He does actually. Yeah, he does mention that. So the gladiator pit is in the middle. So from that, you can get pretty much anywhere easy. Now, in the whole place, there's a couple of things. The sweating pits. You don't want to get close to those. That's the breeding grounds for the goblins. Then you have the mud hill. That's what we called it. Most of the goblins live there. This is both of these are east of the gladiator's pit. Now, the thing you really do not want to get close to is the stone asylum. Now, this is where all the abominations live. Get close to that, or alarm opens up. That's where all the fuckers come out of, and those are the ones you want to be scared about. Now, exactly north from the gladiator's pit is what we call the chicken bone throne. And that's where he lives. It's a former keep of some forgotten lord. He mounted it with his people, a couple of hobgoblins. He always keeps one or two abominations with him. But if you manage to get into the castle without raising an alarm, you should be able to take one or two of them if you're powerful enough. I'm just saying this abomination is, well, it needs a whole crew, a whole crew of us like rangers to take one down. So you should be careful with that.
Very well. Then tomorrow we go and get captured.
I look at the Tin Man like for once I agree with you. I do not like this plan at all.
Also, don't go with your mounts. Otherwise you want them to get eaten.
Yeah, I was gonna leave my mount there anyway. Like, because I don't fancy Gordon being turned into,
Chow.
cheap.
Barbecue.
You're absolutely right. We should leave them with someone we trust. And then I look at him.
Oh, yeah, I'll keep them safe.
I don't know if we can trust this guy.
The Stable Master owes me a favor.
Oh, of course we can trust him. Animals love rangers. He'll be great with them.
I like animals.
Who doesn't?
Shakes his head. Take care. I actually quite like you. Don't die.
I go out to my my pack horse and grab some things off of it before he takes it away.
He will actually come to Saskia and give her a small flask. It's about half filled with a black liquid. And
What's that?
And he says,
This is my plagum.
this is
It
what I
brings
use
good luck.
to escape from the dungeon on the side of the radius. That's where they keep us. Use it in dire need. It will turn you invisible for half an hour or so.
The black liquid.
The black liquid, yeah.
I reach out, I put a hand on his shoulder. I look him in the eyes and I say, if I meet this king, I will make sure to hit him with an arrow just for you.
He nods his head, and you see his eyes. Just, he's happy. Like, he's trying to smile, but it's like kind of. Like he's trying too hard. Like he does not make a good smile, but he's definitely happy.
Good.
I like to give. I mean, the stable master is just outside, right? Or like in the stables right now. I'm presuming our mounts are like stable already.
Yeah, they are stable, but they only paid for like for a couple of hours, so you have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the stable master like.
It's a silver a night. Your price.
Okay, so,
if you want,
I give him like enough silver for a week. So 7 silver.
Okay. Does everybody else do the same thing?
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how long we're gonna be in there, so might as well.
So take that out of your.
I'll give him a
character
go.
sheet. And do you guys get rooms for tonight? Well, tents, because they're not actually rooms. The inn is merely just like a tavern, but there are like you can rent tents from the inn.
I have a tent already.
Ditto.
Yeah, you can set it up like there are free spaces where people just set up their tents.
It's a 2-man tent. If Eyecye want to share it, like I guess I'll comply.
Oh, let me know if anyone does spend hit dice.
I actually, Chuky, you said that abilities can get you back.
Come back, yes.
So I'd like.
Gone.
Yeah, I would like to second wind. After.
I'm just gonna let you know this. Like you will not be able to second wind each hour.
That's fine, but
I will let you second wind now. That's okay.
we can establish a set amount of second wind if you want each day. Because yeah,
Basically, don't abuse it. Like, if you don't abuse, that's okay. Like,
yeah, it's fine. I mean, because I'm thinking like, well, it's one of my only self-healing, I suppose. But I mean, we have like a ranger and I. Yeah.
okay, so you can use second end. Feel free.
Well, we don't know for a fact that Ranger has any healing. She might not have taken that spell.
Well, you don't know, but like as I said before, Esbjörn, he knows that I'm like a proficient healer because my mother is. So, and I'm like known in the town, but I guess you wouldn't. I mean, if you're nobility, that's not something that would be interesting for you. So, like in town, they would know.
But I'll use the second wind, and we'll see if I need some more healing. 8.
Okay, 8. Do you need any?
I would
more?
require. Let's see.
Well, as you
Require
know,
2
that,
more.
you know that Saskia is a proficient healer, so if she heals you now, she's not gonna be able to heal you for another 24 hours with her healing kit, but she is able to heal you now. So
I'll just use a hit die. That's fine.
Okay, do it.
Add 1d6.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm at full.
Okay,
Don't
so
you
you
need
guys.
to die at a like 8-hour rest?
It says if you hear the performance at any point, and he.
Yeah, don't. Are we doing like 8 hour is short, rest?
8 hour is
Yeah.
short for using hit dice. 7 days is long for reclaiming your hit dice.
You get you back at the full 7 days.
I think
Yeah.
half your.
Yeah.
Well, you get half.
Like half
Rounded
rounded
up.
up, as always. Like that's normal rules. Put it like this: with a new group, I will use like the normal healing rules, but with a group that knows 5e, I'm not going to use the normal healing rules because
That's fine.
It seems to me to be way too broken. It's way too easy to heal.
I mean, we got healers. There's no problem.
Oh, just
So-
explaining. Okay, so you guys sleep for the night, and it's actually a pleasant night. It's quite hot because it's summer, but inside of the Shadow Veil, people tend to sleep a bit too much simply because they don't really realize it's day until the sun fully comes out. So you're woken up more by the people moving outside that have set like their internal clocks, like they're used to waking up at this point, and you just like the rumble and all the people waking up just wakes you up as well.
Can I say that they wake up by me hammering like my armor,
Yeah,
like onto
Definitely.
my body? So like in the morning when I see other people are up, I just like get like a hammer. I'm just like smacking the armor into like kind of place onto like my shoulder and whatnot.
okay. Boom, boom, boom. And all of you guys wake up, and it is the next day.
Justin, for God's sake, if you eat chocolate, you need to share. You know that, right?
I'm not eating chocolate. I'm opening a very difficult package that someone just came in. It's like it's wrapped up.
Because
in,
that's super rude.
I'm on a keto diet. I'm not even allowed to eat chocolate.
What's
Oh,
in the
okay.
box?
So when I hear Farrell like outside hammering, I just
You don't have
crawl
to.
out of the tent and I approach him and I say, "What? Are you hurt or something? Is that why you're hammering on yourself?"
I'm fixing my arm.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. I can't really tell when you're hurt, I guess. So if you ever feel, I don't know, do you even feel hurt sometimes? Well, if you ever feel like you're not in such a good shape as you should be, maybe you could tell me, because I don't think I could tell.
Okay.
Great. Also, not a good idea to do that first thing in the morning because other people usually try to sleep.
People are awake.
Well, they are awake now.
Well,
Okay, so
I think we rise early anyway.
you risen up basically by the people who are used to rise up a bit early, not to oversleep. Okay, so you are up and you're about. What do you guys want to do today?
Go get captured.
I just think that we should talk about, like, I'm not sure if we have to make the capture believable, just surrendering at the first sight of goblins might be a bit. I'm not sure. It's I'm not usually the kind of person that would allow himself to be captured this way, but if that's
Well, Oh, I know. And I go back into my tent, and I come out like maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes later, and I look like a guy. You probably can't even tell that I'm me.
Where's the princess? What have you done with this? You scoundrel.
Drops a couple of registers, and I'm just like, if I say I'm your lord and I order you to surrender in front of them, in order to preserve my own life, then we won't have to weaken ourselves fighting needlessly. Isn't that a great plan? It's a great plan.
I don't like the idea of being captured, though.
You don't have to like it. You just have to do it.
I just put a hand on his steel body and say, "Don't worry. We will get them from the inside. And we will unleash terrible wrath upon them."
Okay, I trust you.
Okay, so are you guys going out of the fort and towards the keep of the Goblin King? So you can go completely up just north of here to continue on going and find maybe those are the parts where the scouts and abominations are moving about. If you go any more to the west, you're gonna go into the lands, like the labyrinthic parts of the Shadow Vale, where we can get lost extremely easily.
So we kind of been going like this, something.
Yeah, but you are basically at this point you have gone like here, like in the middle of one here.
Oh, better story. We heard that there were fighting pits, and we have an amazing metal gladiator who wants to participate in them. Then it's like we're volunteering and not getting captured at all.
I don't want to participate in fighting pits.
Yes, you do. Yes,
No, I don't.
You just have to say you actually don't say anything at all. I'll tell them you do, and they'll believe me.
I don't know about this.
It's
Okay, if we're going to have a vote, I like option 1 better than option 2.
What's option 1 again?
Getting captured.
Option 1 is the getting captured one, and you pretending to be our lord.
Oh, okay. Well, either way.
Okay, so
Well,
You're muted again, Justin.
Justin muted. We're waiting for Justin. Come on, Justin.
there's nothing else using your microphone or something, Justin?
You know what I think it is? I think sometimes Roll20 freezes for a second and my mouse won't move, and I'm usually muted right after that. So I think it's Roll20 somehow.
Are you are you set to have you disabled everything on the
Everything's disabled.
broadcasting? Okay.
So I don't know what's causing it, but it's never happened if I'm not in Roll20. So I think it's actually Roll20's thing. Maybe I should open Roll20 in Chrome or something and see if that fixes it.
Try
So usually it's Firefox.
But you had it in Explorer.
I'm a Firefox user. I like Firefox.
More like
No one uses Internet Explorer.
sucks. Sucks.
Alright, so we continue heading north, hoping to get captured.
I suppose we're.
I'm still disguised as a guy.
Okay, so you guys head up north in an attempt to get captured by the patrols of the Goblin King, and hopefully get inside of the keep, so you can in the end assassinate him. So now, let's get you off for a break. See you guys on the other side.
Ooh.
Whoop, whoop.